Devo, or I mean, you go down 15-0. Were you guys panicked at all, or was it just like, all right, we're gonna get this thing figured out pretty quick?
I wouldn't say we were panicked. It wasn't the start that we wanted to get off to. Definitely not what we had talked about previously in the locker room. But our ability to stay resilient and fight back, claw back, get the crowd back into it. It was a really big help for us tonight.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, obviously that's not the start we want. The start that we dreamed of or practiced for. But I just think that again speaks to the toughness of our group. I don't think that there was anybody, on our sideline who thought we were truly going to lose that game. So I think that just speaks to the belief we have in ourselves as a unit.
Earlier in the season, that might have got me all down. But so what's the difference between kind of then and now? When shots weren't going, but you guys still found a way today.
I think today, obviously, we didn't play defense at the beginning with the 15-0 start. But we finally got it into gear, and the defense fueled our offense for a while. We got out in transition, got some easy buckets, and then, we just started chipping away slowly but surely. And, our defense is always going to be the catalyst that helps us out when our shots aren't going. So we just got to be locked in at all times on the defensive end.
When AJ's going like he's going there in that one stretch, you just want to get him the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's for everybody on our team. When anybody's hitting, you just want to feed the hot hand, and he was killing. So
you guys have elevated your game since Daywalk has gone down. You've also talked about all year the fact that there's so many number ones that can score whatever they want. You two, especially these last 3 games without him, have stepped up your game for both of you. Can you kind of explain maybe the mentality, knowing, hey, you got to wear a little bit more on the shoulders tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Looks a really good player. He's talented and stretches the defense with his ability to shoot the ball. But I think we just all have a real serious next man up approach. We understand that no matter who we have out there, we believe that we can win against anybody in the country, and I think that just resonates throughout our whole group, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
Off subject here a little bit, but the last couple of games, Lazar and Ante have been there. And in this day and age, you don't see two bigs play together very often. What does that bring to the table for you guys, do you think, offensively and defensively?
I think for us, it puts him back at the 3, his natural, position. Makes it a lot easier for him to do the job that he needs to do. And early in the season, I think it was a struggle, and I think people kind of saw that with just having 2 bigs in there, not necessarily clogging the paint, but it's just hard to do stuff with 2 bigs in the paint. But we've started figuring it out. Lazar's started kind of figuring out, how he needs to play with Ante and vice versa. And I think slowly but surely we've stepped it up, and we've kind of figured out the offense with both of those in, and it obviously gives us a huge help on the glass. Lazar is a huge help on the glass, relieves Ante from having to do as much. So I think it's become a big help for us in the season.
Yeah, I know a lot of the same. I think that we're just getting more comfortable with each other. That always happens with time, and I just think I know Lazar likes to play the 4 as well. So right now, honestly, it just seems like everybody's kind of playing a position that feels natural for him, and we're just kind of, although we're not coming out to the starts that we need to, I just think that over time we start to fire on all cylinders.
Statistic or standings wise, huge one on Monday. Just your thoughts on going up there, another national TV game, and obviously you're looking at a top of the standings matchup.
Yeah, I think we just got to come prepared. Obviously, on the road, you can't start out 0-15 like we did today at home. It's going to be a packed-out crowd. It's going to be a nice environment. So, we're going to rest up tomorrow, get ready for the battle on Monday.
Same question.
Yeah, no, I think we're just ready for whatever. Obviously, they're a good team, and they've gotten out, to a hot start. But I think we're never really, truly worried about our opponent. I think that if we do what we're supposed to do, and we take care of what we need to take care of, it doesn't matter who we play, we should, and we'll come out on top for sure.
I think I've been involved maybe one other time in a start like that on the wrong side, like we were tonight. I think I was an assistant Xavier, and we played Duke in the Meadowlands, and we were down 21-0, I believe, after the first 4-minute war. So, unfortunately, that night we ended up losing by 40. So at least we were able to sort of U-turn it and figure out a way to win. Obviously, really disappointed with our start, our energy, and really think that falls on our seniors. There's only so much you can do as a substitute. There's only so much that you can say. And we've got 3 seniors, 3 guys that have played a lot of basketball games, a lot of successful basketball games. We've got to be ready from the jump, regardless of whether we're playing a first place team or a team that has had some hard luck like Stony Brook. And didn't see that tonight. Get down 16 or 15 to nothing. Happy with the resiliency, our ability to sort of chip away. And then obviously in the beginning of the second half, I thought our energy was markedly different. So that's all I got.
Going off the seniors, would you attribute some of that to kind of the defense? Look like the shots maybe weren't the best looks. What do you attribute some of that to?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, we came out of the gates and got 3 or 4 stops in a row to start the game. I thought our offense was way too casual. I thought, you got to play hard on both ends. I think we all think about when you think of the term playing hard, your mind immediately goes to defense, but that's not necessarily the case. Being able to set a hard screen, cut to the basket sharp if the play's not designed for you. If you're an NFL wide receiver and it's a running play and you just sort of walk out there, you're tipping your hand. And so we've got to be able to run harder offense, like we have all year, but certainly not those first 5 or 6 minutes. But I thought our issue was sort of both. And then when we became casual on offense, we started to become a sieve defensively. And, those were our issues.
Did you have to light a fire under them, or was it player-led to kind of snap out of it?
A little bit of both. I mean, you don't want to go down drowning in your own gym. And so a little colorful in a few of the TV timeouts, and I thought deservedly so. I didn't think our energy was where it needed to be against Stony Brook.
Did you see a player take charge at all either then or
Not enough. They have about a 5 or 6 minute time where it's just the players in the locker room while we huddle as coaches to sort of make any type or talk about any type of adjustment or anything that we need to do differently. And so maybe during that time they might have discussed some things, got heated. Who knows? When I came in the locker room, I felt like it was a quiet group, but that's not atypical. That's who they normally are.
Any update on Dalo?
Not really. He's just having issues with his thigh. I think it's improving, but I don't know if it'll be improved enough to get him on the court Monday night. We need him. We need him for a lot of reasons. Makes our team deeper. We have more threats out there. We can play guys a few less minutes. I mean, we're logging way too many minutes right now with our starters. And
Not to steal Andrew's question, how have you seen Debo and AJ step up in his absence?
they did tonight. And I think Debo's been doing that really all since he's gotten comfortable over the last 8 to 10 games. Really comfortable. I thought AJ, drove the ball well, finished well in transition, things that we need him to do. He was lax on the defensive end. He's got an offensive rebound. It's a couple games in a row where he hasn't gotten any, and it hurts our team, especially when he plays the 3. Sometimes when he plays the 4, you're at your mercy a little bit because he's given up 3 inches and 25, 30 pounds. But tonight, he's playing the 3 primarily. He needs to be more efficient on the glass for us.
You ever had a double-double with your point guard, 11 rebounds and 11 assists?
Had a triple-double from a couple guys, but not a double-double where, give credit to O'Connor. The freshman, I thought, really pressed into CJ. I think he tried to turn him. CJ's ball screens offensively were different in terms of how they were covered. They really jumped out on CJ. And once he got a sort of a beat on that, I thought he made some great decisions for our team like he usually does. And so it's no surprise that the 11 rebounds surprised me just because you don't typically see that from a point guard. But he's been one of our better rebounders, especially on the offensive end, which is a little scary sometimes because we should be more hammer to nail with our front court. But a great job by CJ.
I guess on 90s night, your favorite 90s artist or group?
They were probably starting to go out a little bit, at least their second album, I think. I would go with Beastie Boys, would be, like late 80s, early 90s, which I still listen to in the car, and my kids know all the words. So I don't know if that makes me a bad parent or not. But, yeah. So.
First game, first place on the line, probably here Monday night.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great environment. You know, they've done a great job. They play a very funky style that I'm not familiar with just yet, but I keep getting the whispers from my assistant coaches as I'm, walking into the office in the morning, because you got one guy scouting Stony Brook, one guy scouting William and Mary, and so I'll start to learn a lot more about them in the morning. But from the clips I've seen, I generally, when we watch future opponents, I won't watch them against William and Mary, because I feel like how they play is so chaotic on the defensive end, so free flowing on the offensive end, that it's not going to mirror what our game should look like or will look like. So it's going to be really interesting to dive in, and they're obviously doing a hell of a job. They're a lot harder team to beat at home, so we'll have our hands full, and hopefully we're up for the challenge.